So we've got our hatches more or less done, but they're just sitting in there and they need to have something to attach them to the bulkhead. I did have dreams of making some fancy mechanism, but right now I think I'll just leave it as simple as possible. So I whipped up one of these little fellas. This is going to be a hatch dog. This is just a 3D printed prototype of it. That's what I got my chopping board material for, which is around here somewhere. I was thinking, in the essence of simplicity, just have them screwed through like that and open and shut. I'll have 4 of those per hatch, I think. And on the inside of the hatch, around here, I'll put a little rubber for a seal so it's a bit more watertight. Hatch dog and washer. Then I'll put a washer and a lock nut so that I can have it secure without having it so tight that it can't rotate. Guess that's pretty good. Let's see how that works. Yeah, well, you know, well, it holds it on, and it's simple, so I reckon that's a go. I'll just have to make some of those, and I can do all this. Time to make some hatch dogs. It's just a basic chopping board that I got from IKEA for like a few dollars. It's just really thick and tough, and I reckon it'll do a good job. So I was originally going to go 4 dogs per hatch, but to be honest, it might be overkill. I don't know. There's not going to be any pressure forcing the hatches outwards, unless something heavy falls on them, which could be a thing. So mainly it'll be water pressure, I guess, which will be forcing the hatches inwards against the flanges that the hatches rest against. So that won't be an issue. That'll just seal it tighter. Well, maybe I'll just make 2 dogs per hatch and then just see how we go. They shaped pretty well. I've only countersunk one of them, but I'll just countersink the rest, and then that's some bulkhead hatch dogs. Just need to do them also for the seat hatches. Cool. First coat of epoxy on the spars and the back of the hatches. Come out a nice darker colour. Should look good with a few coats on. And I did the rowing thwart holder things as well. So when stepping a mast, it's traditional to put a coin underneath it. I'm not exactly sure why, but it is, and I like boat traditions. So I got this coin here. It's a Scottish £1 coin that I got on holiday last year. And I like it, so I want to put that on the mast step. Now, the mast step is kind of a pain in the ass to get to. It's sort of down in the bottom of the mast trunk. The mast isn't like heavy enough, I think, for it to crush the coin into the wood. I don't know if that's what normally happens when you step a mast, that the coin sort of gets like mashed into the wood, but I kind of assume because they're so heavy. Anyway, there's not going to be anywhere near that force on this coin, so it's going to actually make the mast stand up slightly, the width of this coin, which looks like to be about 2-ish millimeters. So I want to route a little cavity for the coin to sit in.
Now, there's no way I'm going to be able to get my router in there.
So I thought the next best thing would be to permanently glue the coin into the bottom of the mast. Every time the mast is stepped, the coin's there. You know, it's the same effect.
Here's the base of the mast. Pretty cool effect, I think, with the bird's mouth and then the plug in the bottom. I'm going to route a little cavity for the coin in the bottom there and epoxy it in.
Yeah, that fits. A little bit loose, but the epoxy will hold it in.
There's the coin, glued into the bottom of the mast. It's just got a bit of tape over it to hold it in while the epoxy cures. And that's where it'll be. God save the Queen.
Just put the starboard rubber rail on. Gonna sand it all back now and trim off the bits that don't belong.
We've got all these holes that we need to fill in the rub rails that were created by screws that I screwed in as we were gluing and clamping it.
And since I was thinking of not painting the rub rail, I thought it would be nice if whatever we filled it with was the same color. Thickened epoxy is a sort of whitish color, and it would look really obvious with all these dots along the side. So I bought one of these, a plug cutter. This is a 10mm plug cutter, and it creates little plugs like this.
And we'll drill these holes out to 10mm and glue those in.
Then sand them flush, and it should look nice.
Come on, plug. And there we go. Now we'll just drill this hole out to 10mm. Let's have a look. Yep, so we'll just glue that in there and it'll be good. Well, this first test piece went okay. So I epoxied it and I sanded it down. And I got a few plugs in there. As I hammered them in, they kind of broke a little bit. And as I drilled them, I was a little bit careless with the drilling. And so there's a few little gaps here that I want to fill.
But I can't fill them with the epoxy filler because it'll look white. So I sanded down a few scrap pieces of the jarrah I had, and I've made this suspicious looking bag of jarrah powder. I'll use that to thicken up some epoxy and fill the gaps in the jarrah, and hopefully it should be the same color and you won't be able to tell the difference. Got a few more fittings to put in. So the ones I've mounted so far is just the centerboard hole, I think. I want to do the mounts for the halyard and the downhole now. So they mount up here-ish, around where the mast is. I'll put an eye bolt through there and an eye bolt through there. And the blocks which redirect the halyard, which is on the starboard side, and the downhole, which is on the port side, will connect to that. Then the halyard will run along here-ish to a cleat, and the downhole will run along here-ish to a series of blocks and then a cam cleat. I need to put some reinforcement under here and here, and then put the bolts through there and there for that mounting, for that, just for that. Got some scrap 9mm ply here, and I'm just going to cut. That's a 10 by 10 centimeter square. And that should be plenty. It's probably more than I need actually, but that's the halyard cleat. And it'll go kind of like that. I need another backing plate as well for the mounting point for the downhole block next to its cleat. This is the arrangement here. Here we have a fiddle block and then a single block with a becket and then a cam cleat here. So this needs to be a little bit larger. I think I should be able to use just whatever width this piece is here. Cam cleat there, then we'll put the eye bolt there-ish, I think. That looks about the same.
Now, I think I drilled that with a 5mm bit instead of a 6. That's better. And I've just mocked up what this scenario will look like. The halyard and halyard cleat downhaul. Just figuring out the distances. I want this line and this line to basically form an isosceles triangle, because that'll be aesthetically pleasing. Just needed to make sure that I had enough clearance here so I could put the cleat here and the attachment point somewhere there. Actually, I guess this angle will probably be dictated by the size of the backing block that I've cut. I think I'm going to have to cut another block. Just mocked it up here, and if I use this block, this backing block here, you can see that's where the hole where this eye bolt will go through. This is basically where the cam cleat will be. So if we position the line in the middle of the cam cleat, and then we position the eye bolt, you can see there's an angle for this going in there. But if we move that a bit further out, and it straightens up and it runs fair through the cleat. So we really need the eye bolt over here. I might need to make this a little bigger. Got a bit of bigger backing plate now. I think I figured it out. It should be there. May God have mercy on my soul. Well, that's where it is now. Got it all test fit. This is how it'll look. So there's the eye bolt that this little boy attaches to. Downhaul. Pull that tight into that cam cleat there. And we just want to replicate this angle on the other side. And that's where we'll put the cleat for the halyard. This is not the halyard. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just tied to that eye bolt. It's a mock halyard. I've drawn two lines here between the hole from this eye bolt to this eye bolt, and that hole for that eye bolt, and the position where this eye bolt would be if it was mirrored. The ropes should run down these lines and it will be symmetrical. I just need to position the cleat so that when it's coming around its far end, it follows that line. That looks pretty good to me. I've just got to temporarily bolt it in there. Oh, I should put the backing plate on the bottom, but... And that's the cabin top hardware fit.